Hey guys, what's going on? It's Vic here, back with another Madden 23 rebuild. In today's episode, we're going to be rebuilding the Houston Texans, but with Will Anderson and Jaxon Smith-Njigba, because in the draft, it's apparently reported that the Texans will not take any QB unless it's Bryce Young. They think Bryce Young is the one and only guy capable of being their QB, and they said they're not going to rush it. So, Lovie Smith really did screw them over by winning that game against the Colts. And matter of fact, I bet on the negative 2.5 spread on the Colts. So up yours, Texans. Don't like you. But anyways, guys, this is what we got for the team. Davis Mills is probably going to be our quarterback for right now. I know a lot of people won't like to hear that, but we never know until the draft actually happens. So I'm going to be drafting Will Anderson and Jaxon Smith-Njigba. Hopefully they're both on the board and the CPU doesn't accidentally draft them, because of course I'm going to have to restart the video then. So we got Dameon Pierce, Davis Mills, Devin Singletary, Robert Woods, who's obviously not going to be enough. They also signed Noah Brown, who has no hands. Dalton Schultz, who's very underrated. A decent offensive line with Laramie Tunsil. Kenyon Green had a very rough rookie year. They also got Shaq Mason at guard right now. He's playing center because the AI just moved him there. D-line needs so much help, and that's why we're going to be drafting Will Anderson. We have Desmond King, Derek Stingley, and honestly, you should have taken Sauce, but Stingley's still a good choice, don't get me wrong. Bringing in Jimmy Ward was a good idea, also to help Jalen Petrie develop, and he was just a good safety in general. They got Denzel Perryman, who was once a leading tackler in the NFL, I think. If I'm wrong on that, I'm sorry, but let's get to the draft. And with pick number 2 in the draft, of course, as I mentioned before, we're going to be taking Will Anderson Jr. out of Alabama. 6'4", 243, 85 speed, 89 acceleration, 84 strength, hidden development. Of course, he's going to be a beast. And with pick number 12 in the draft, we're picking up the wide receiver one in the draft, especially in my opinion, Jaxon Smith-Njigba out of Ohio State. 6 foot, almost 200 pounds, hidden development, only 82 speed, but he's definitely more of a route runner, 88 acceleration. He should have great route running skills, A's across the board for his release and route running. But anyways, guys, we got our future receiver. Next year, we're just going to have to wait on our QB or just take one in a later round. So I have decided to switch this up. In the second round, Hendon Hooker was there, so I'm going to take him. He's actually 25 years old, 88 throw power. He has the athleticism. A lot of people are going to be like, oh, well, Tennessee was just a gimmicky scheme. You never know, but we're going to try him out. He has a lot of Fs on his board, but that's mainly for athleticism. But he has good accuracy, C awareness, though, only normal dev. We're going to try him out and give him a shot, but if he doesn't work after this first year, I'm drafting me a new QB. Here we are after the draft. We have Jaxon Smith-Njigba being wide receiver 4. I'm not going to let that happen. Hendon Hooker is the same overall as Davis Mills, so I'm just going to straight up start Hendon Hooker. I'm not going to give Davis Mills another chance. He has Dalton Schultz, a decent offensive line, a new wide receiver 1, good depth at running back, and Will Anderson Jr. I am just going to move straight down to left end. Yes, I'm starting him over Chase Winovich. That's because Chase Winovich is not going to last very long on this team with Will Anderson coming off the edge. So there's that, and let's refresh the roster. Let's not click on Derek Stingley, please, because I did not want to do that. Defensively, adjust the line. Okay, I guess they're not going to move Winovich over. Grenard is going to start at right end. Desmond King is going to be DB1, which I don't like, so I'm going to put Stingley back up there. Specialist, Anderson's coming off the edge. That's what I want. Sure, and Njigba could be in the slot and wide receiver 1. I don't know how that's going to work. But anyways, it's now time to move into the midseason mark. Here we are at the midseason mark. As we are 2-4, second in the division. I don't know how the Jaguars are at the bottom of the division, but hey, makes sense that we're 2-4. I didn't expect this team to go crazy. What do we specifically need? I would say, I guess I'm going to scout quarterback just in case Hendon Hooker doesn't quite work out. We're only 2-4, and I can't necessarily blame him because our team does. Actually, I can. Our defense is balling out. Our offense just sucks. Okay. Players ready to negotiate. Let's see what we got here. Laramie Tunsil needs to stay. He's our franchise left tackle. Take all the money he wants. And he apparently thinks he can find a bigger offer, even though I'm giving you everything that you want. Shaq Mason, I still want for the rest of the rebuild, and apparently he says the same thing. Jimmy Ward is old. He can walk. Desmond King, I'm cool with a 1-year deal if he wants this. No long-term commitment, no deal, even though you have an interest in re-signing. Robert Woods can walk. I understand it's the Texans, but damn, nobody wants to be here, bro. Chase Winovich can walk. Everyone there can walk except Laramie Tunsil. I'm not going to let him go. Anyways, let's move into the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs, finishing 7-10. Honestly, not as bad as I thought we would do. Stats and awards, is Hendon Hooker at least decent? Oh, never mind. The CPU gave me a big middle finger and just didn't allow it. Okay. 7th best offense, 7th best defense, and 26th best offense. I hate that the CPU just didn't even give Hendon Hooker a chance. And now, people in the comments are probably going to put the pressure on me to give Hendon Hooker the chance. He's a normal dev, and I just don't want... If there's a godly-ass QB on the board and I want him, I'm taking him. It's as simple as that. Dameon Pierce with the most rushing... Well, not the most... Obviously, the most rushing yards on the team. 1,000 yards, 15 touchdowns, 4.6 per carry. Great second year. Noah Brown, 1,100 yards, 4 touchdowns. Really, Jaxon Smith-Njigba probably got moved down the depth chart. Pisses me off. Denzel Perryman, 131 tackles for a loss, 21 for Sheldon Rankins, sacks 13.5 for Will Anderson Jr., great rookie season, and 3 interceptions for Stingley, 0 safeties, 0 defensive touchdowns. It sucks that I didn't get to see Hendon Hooker's rookie year. But anyways, let's move in to the offseason. And the Bills finally win their first Super Bowl ever against the Carolina Panthers, who have yet to win theirs. Matt Milano wins the Super Bowl MVP. Joe Burrow wins the league MVP. And it looks like Will Anderson Jr. wins the Rookie of the Year, so he should have at least superstar development, if not X Factor. We have $182 million in cap space, by the way. Offensively, Jaxon Smith-Njigba has star dev. Dalton Schultz gets star dev. That's good to see. Defensively, Will Anderson has X Factor. Jalen Petrie has superstar. Sheldon Rankins gets upgraded to star, which that doesn't really matter. He's probably not even going to be on the team next season. But let's move into the re-signings. In the AFC South, Jerry Hughes retires. That's fine. And Justin Pugh with the Titans also retires. Players ready to negotiate. Again, Lorme Tunsil is not getting away from me. I take all the money you want, dude. I'll increase your bonus. I'll increase this. We're paying this dude $35 million a year. Just take the money. We have all of it. Shaq Mason, here's the thing. I don't know how far he's going to regress in the next couple of years. I'm going to give him a very player-friendly deal. Give him 2 years, then increase the living crap out of the money just in case I want to dump him after the 2 years if he regresses too far. He resigns. Jimmy Ward's just going to regress into oblivion. Desmond King, I would not mind, honestly, increase the bonus a little bit, and he resigns for another year. Robert Woods can walk. Sheldon Rankins can walk. Noah Brown can walk. I need receivers. I need defensive tackles. I need a free safety. I need everything. Let's hit free agency. So there weren't very many players that actually wanted to play for the Texans, no surprise, but the players that did obviously only came here for the no state income tax. We got Anton Winfield Jr., amazing free safety, and he's young. Donovan Peoples-Jones, he's going to be more of our wide receiver 2 type to replace Robert Woods. So anyways, let's get into the draft. Hopefully I can get a QB. In the first round, unfortunately, there was no good QBs on the board, so I'm going to have to rock out with Hendon Hooker, and it's unfortunate that I couldn't develop him in his rookie year because I got scummed out of it by Davis Mills. So I'm picking up defensive end Deontay Spence out of Clemson, 88 strength, 76 speed, 86 acceleration, hidden development, 6'4" and 300 pounds. And with my other first round pick, I'm picking up right tackle Daniel Grant out of Texas, 87 strength, 81 jumping, 85 acceleration, 6'4", 316 hidden development. In the second round, I'm picking up defensive back Barry Woodyard out of Michigan State, 92 speed, 91 acceleration, 5'10", 190, but he does have hidden development. That's what matters. In the third round, I'm picking up a center, Zach Havenstein out of Arkansas, hidden development, 6'4", 301, 85 strength, 86 acceleration. He's apparently faster than he is strong, but hey, our offensive line seems stacked out now. And in the fourth round, I'm picking up Eric Dell, deep threat out of Florida. He was supposed to be a first-round pick, but he had F route running all across the board. But he had elite speed, 99 speed, 98 acceleration. I'm stacking in this draft class. As you can see, his skills suck. He's all speed, and hopefully we can pan him out. I'm trading away Davis Mills. I'm not having what I had last season come to play. The Broncos want him. Sure, the Broncos can take him for a third-round pick, a low price of it. Take Davis Mills off my hands. So I got Hendon Hooker and Wentz. Oh my God, now I'm conflicted. I took this guy in the third round thinking he would be nothing. 92 throw power, 77 speed, good accuracy across the board. Does all right under pressure. Like, that's not even bad. Hendon Hooker. Ooh, you know what? I'm going to have to give Hendon Hooker a shot or else the comments are going to be pissed at me. So we're going to have to refresh this again, unfortunately, because the AI won't correctly get my rosters right unless I do it. Rab, again, is going to be moving up. We're going to have Woodyard go to DB2. Specialist, we're going to move Rab up again. Adams, I actually want a sub linebacker. Denzel Perryman's not going to be here too much longer. Dameon Pierce, I want him to get all the reps. And Adams, I want middle linebacker as well. So yeah, amazing draft, as I already said before, but let's move in with Hendon Hooker to the midseason mark. Here we are at the midseason mark because we are 3-4 bottom of the division. It makes no sense how the Titans are 5-1, but and they also lost Derrick Henry in free agency because I saw him in free agency. But QB is not something we can scout anymore because we do not have the time to develop one. I'm just going to go defensive tackle here. I should have, middle linebacker could be a good pick there, but I feel like it's harder to scout defensive tackles. But players ready to negotiate. Let's see what we got here. We have Desmond King again. No, Denzel Perryman can walk. Nico Collins can walk. Reverend Jordan, I do not like. Wow, everyone here is just useless. Anyways, 3 and 4. Hopefully we can do something. Let's get to the playoffs. And we finished 7 and 10 again. This time the bottom of the division makes more sense. The Titans miss out too. Stats and awards. Hendon Hooker did not do bad. That was not a bad season other than the pass rating. 23rd best offense, 18th best defense. Honestly, not bad. Other than the 15 interceptions, this was not a horrible season. Damian Pierce, 1,100 yards, 4.2 per carry, 7 touchdowns. Jaxon Smith-Njigba, 1,300 yards, 11 touchdowns. Great season. Donovan Peoples-Jones, 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns. Dalton Schultz, not really doing that good. This can be really hard to build this team. Joe Adams, the rookie, wearing number 99. I don't like that he's wearing J.J. Watt's number, but 132 tackles are great. Tackles for a loss, 18 for Trayman Rab, the rookie. 18 sacks for Will Anderson, 9.5 for Rab, who's doing amazing. 3 interceptions for Joe Adams, safety, 0 defensive touchdowns is 0. So we have a very, very young core around us. It's just about development. Let's move in to the offseason. Joe Burrow wins the Super Bowl MVP against the Giants. Bryce Young on the Vikings? What? Okay. He wins the league MVP. I don't know how that happens, but it does. And Rab wins Defensive Rookie of the Year, so he should have at least superstar development. And I didn't even pick him. I stopped picking after the 4th round, I think. So, Hendon Hooker doesn't even get a single XP upgrade. What? So here's the thing with Hendon Hooker then. That means if there is a QB in free agency, I'm going to immediately move on. He was not bad, but the fact that he didn't get a single XP point just seems broken. Dell is a superstar, by the way, even though he was supposed to be a projected UDFA. Well, not projected. He was supposed to be a first-round pick, but his talent-wise was UDFA. And our offensive line is all-star. That's fine with me. Just, man, it's unfortunate that I have to move on to new QB so quickly. I don't care what you say. I'm giving Adams star dev. You're going to have 133 tackles in a season as a rookie. Had 7 tackles for a loss. That's a great rookie season for a middle linebacker. I should have also changed his number while he was there, but it's fine. And who is this? Christian Harris out of Alabama. Okay, he's going to get star dev as well. Spence has X Factor. What a pick by me. Rab goes up to superstar for Rookie of the Year. I have drafted an amazing defensive line. Crazy. Woodyard has star dev. That's fine. I've done a really good job with drafting, but it's now time to develop, and I need to find a QB. Let's get to the re-signings. In the AFC South, Taylor Lewan retires on the Colts, the Titans' rivals, and our rivals, of course. Players ready to negotiate, though. I need a QB so bad. Desmond King can walk if he doesn't want to be here. Everyone here can walk. I'm just not interested in any of those guys. I'm praying to God that there's a QB in free agency because that's desperately what we need. So after free agency, we get to sign a great receiver in Jalen Waddle, but there was no good quarterbacks in free agency, so I'm probably going to have to draft another one. Again, Hendon Hooker isn't bad, but he will not develop. He didn't get a single XP point the entire year. I can't have that. I need myself a QB, so I need to trade up and draft one. So I'm trading up in the draft with the Commanders, trading away pick 15 and pick 47 for pick number 8. The QB that I wanted went off the board, but the next best thing is here, and the Commanders need a QB, and I need a QB too. So this is the next best thing. I can't go another year without a QB. The rest of this board kind of sucks. This is the only decent one here. Gordon Greco out of Massachusetts with... Yeah, he has really good athleticism now that I look at it. Elite strength, good throw power. A's across the board, some B's too. I like this guy, Gordon Greco. Normal dev, dude. But he's gonna have to be the guy. I can't find a replacement, and it's so frustrating. But 91 throw power, great athleticism. He probably is a higher overall than the other two, so he's gonna be the guy. So I know a lot of people are gonna be extremely mad with me with the change in roster all the time, but we have to move on from these guys. Hendon Hooker didn't get a single XP point in the previous season, and everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, well, you never gave Hendon Hooker a chance." So I'm gonna give him a chance on a team that actually wants him. Apparently, the Chargers have no QB, and that is absolutely right. A 4th round pick seems fair for Hendon Hooker. Only started 1 season. Hendon Hooker off to the Chargers. There's his opportunity. He's gone. Jalen Waddle, Jaxon Smith-Njigba is going to be my wide receiver too. Dell is going to be my wide receiver 4 behind Donovan Peoples-Jones. Honestly, it's a good team. It's young. It revolves around a rookie quarterback, which is the problem. Keely Ringo is going to be my slots. Looks like not a bad sub linebacking core here either. Do need better defensive tackles for sure at the secondary position. Ross was a 3rd round pick for me. It's not that bad. My linebacking core is what's weak. My interior defensive line is weak. And honestly, my DBs are a little bit low. Yeah, my linebacking core, my interior defensive line, and I just need my QB to develop. So anyways, guys, apart from that, I'm actually going to... Do I sign a QB? It may ruin everything. I think I'm just going to do it. Matthew Stafford as a mentor QB is what is going to have to be done. And if I cut one person, hopefully it doesn't ruin my entire thing. No, it doesn't, because I already traded away Hendon Hooker. So let's move in to the midseason mark. Here we are at the midseason mark as we are 2-5. Honestly, our team ranks aren't bad. That's not bad. Our defensive rushing game is bad because our interior defensive line is bad, but like 2-5 doesn't seem fair. The fact that the Titans are 7-0 is baffling to me. But again, I think I'm just going to scout defensive tackle, which we're already doing. Re-sign some players. This is the final season. I should have done the 5th-year options if I haven't already. And Matthew Stafford, Dameon Pierce, he was a 4th round pick, wasn't he? So I couldn't even do a 5th-year option. You're not leaving Dameon Pierce. I don't care what you say. Shaq Mason, we're going to keep you for the rest of the rebuild. Didn't know you were going to progress this far. Jalen Petrie, your 2nd round pick, can't give you a 5th-year option, but he's going to stay. If nobody wants to be here, I have the money to keep you here against your will. Yeah, that's right. Just like how I keep the kids in my basement against their will. I'm kidding. Anyways, Kenyon Green, he has star dev. Okay, Kenyon, sure, you think you're all that. You're not. You're a bust. John Mechie, sorry, I just don't need you on the team, but unfortunate start to your career. But everyone else I'm going to have to let walk. We got to figure something out. I don't know what to do. I mean, our team's only an 84 overall. Let's pray to God we make the playoffs. And here we are. Wow, finishing 10-7, but we missed the playoffs. EA Sports. And we lost the 5-12 Jaguars. That's why we didn't make the playoffs. We lost the 5-12 Jaguars in week 18. I can assure you we don't have a 1st round bye. We got snubbed out of the playoffs at 10-7. What a rebuild, man. Gordon Greco. Honestly, amazing rookie year. 6th best offense in the NFL, 4th best defense. We were top 10 in both, and we missed the playoffs at 10-7. 4,600 yards, 37 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, 103 pass rating. That's a great rookie year. Dameon Pierce, 24 touchdowns, 5.7 average, 1,400 yards. With also, look, only 250 attempts? Crazy season. That should deserve superstar. Jaxon, Smith-Njigba, 1,200 yards, 14 touchdowns. Jalen Waddle, 6 touchdowns, 1,100 yards. Donovan Peoples-Jones, 900 yards, 8 touchdowns. Looking at it defensively, Dakota Ross, the rookie, 121 tackles for a loss, 14 for Will Anderson, sacks 18.5 for Will Anderson, 10.5 for Deontay Spence, and interceptions 3 for Dakota Ross, who's a baller safety. 0 safety, 0 defensive touchdowns. I mean, baller outside linebacker. I'm definitely going to make him a star dev. Anyways, let's move into the offseason. The 11-6 Colts beat the Cowboys in the Super Bowl. Will Levis on the Colts wins the Super Bowl MVP. That seems realistic, actually. The Joe Burrow on the Bengals wins the league MVP. Gordon Greco wins the Rookie of the Year, and Dakota Ross wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. Ballers, dude. That's at least star dev for both of them. We have so much money, by the way. But anyways, let's see what we got. Greco gets star dev. Awesome to see. Dameon Pierce gets superstar. Awesome to see. Ross jumps up to superstar. Holy shit, that was quick. And I need a defensive tackle still. I have so much money. I'm going to go all out in free agency. Start balling. Might need a new middle linebacker just because we don't have a lot of depth. And Adams is honestly only a 76. Greco doesn't seem that bad. He is what now? He is going to be... He's a 77, about to be a 78 without his morale boost. But anyways, it's now time to move into the re-signings. And Matthew Stafford retires from being our mentor. I mean, hey, he did his job. We won Offensive Rookie of the Year. Hopefully we can keep it up. Players ready to negotiate. I'm pretty sure we have Dameon Pierce here. Yeah, we do. You can take all the money you want. We can make you like one of the top paid running backs in the league. You're just required to stay here, bud. And he resigns. Kenyon Green actually has an interest now. He probably realized there's no state income tax here. He resigns. John Mechie, bro, I just have other receivers. Sorry, bro. Christian Harris has star dev. He's the starting linebacker for us, so we're going to re-sign him. Sure, cheap deal regardless. Everyone else here can walk. Don't care. And I still have quite a lot of money to spend, so let's hit free agency. So this is the team after free agency. We got Tariq Woolen as another depth defensive back, Nabogdini, who is going to be a starting middle linebacker, and defensive tackle Milton Williams. So in the draft, I'm probably going to be trading for a linebacker, and I'm also going to be trading for a defensive tackle. But anyways, let's move into it. And I'm now trading away 2 second-round picks for Isaiah Simmons from the Arizona Cardinals, 85 overall left outside linebacker. He's a speedster. Definitely needs some help on the linebacking core, so he's going to help, of course. And I'm now trading away, yes, in the division. Yeah, you traded away in the division. It works out perfectly for the Colts. DeForest Buckner is aging and regressing. I'm giving them a first-round pick and a third-round pick. I'm overpaying for in the division trade. You can suck it up. Shut up. Anyways, it's now time to move into the end of the draft. And this is the team moving into the 4th and final season. I just really hope we make the playoffs. That's really what I'm hoping for here. I mean, our quarterback and our team isn't bad. It's just not developed enough is the problem. I might do a 5th season, which is not usually what I do, but our D-line is so stacked. Our team looks great. It's the 4th and final season, and we're an 87 overall, which isn't bad, but I don't necessarily think it's the Super Bowl. I've had teams that are like 93 overall, and I get eliminated in the wild card. Like my Eagles rebuild, which was ridiculous. Anyways, let's move in to the playoffs. No way. I create teams in Madden that are like a 95 overall plus. And I mean, yeah, I have a 90 overall team, which is good, but that's mostly due to morale. And I go 16-1. My Eagles rebuild, I'm struggling to go 11-6. And I build like a 95 overall team. This is EA Sports for you. Coming off a win to the Cowboys somehow. Our defensive passing game is bad. Don't know how. We have Tariq Woolen and Stingley, and we have a great secondary. But anyways, Gordon, baller, dude. Is that MVP? It could be. No, Bryce Young on the Vikings. Doesn't make any sense. Gordon gets 3rd for it, though. And offensive yards is 9th. Defensive yards is 9th. Okay, top 10. 4,800 yards, 41 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 109 pass rating. Great second season. Damian Pierce, 18 touchdowns, 4.8 per carry, 1,300 yards. Donovan Peoples-Jones, 1,200 yards, 11 touchdowns. Jaxon Smith-Njigba with 13 touchdowns, 1,100 yards for Jalen Waddle, 1,000 yards for Dalton Schultz, and 100 receptions. Looking at it defensively, Isaiah Simmons, 117 tackles for a loss, 17 for Will Anderson, and a handful of other people. Will Anderson with 28.5 sacks. Holy crap. DeForest Buckner with 11.5 sacks, interceptions, 5 for Derek Stingley. Safeties on the year, 0 defensive touchdowns is 1 for Stingley. NFL records, need to see it for the sacks. Show it to me. Will Anderson Jr. breaks the record for the most sacks in the season. 28.5 is unfathomable. But anyways, big boy awards. We're going to be playing the divisional round. We haven't even made the wild card yet or any of the playoffs yet. So I'm going to be playing this, especially since it's our divisional rivals and it's the 4th and final year because I don't want to do another one. But let's move into it. Here we are in Houston, Texas, as it is a 7-0 start for the Titans. Gordon's not really doing much here, and he gets in the red zone and somehow doesn't capitalize. 10-0 start at halftime. We get shut out. 17-0. We go 16-1 just for this. Okay, 14-17. Let's make a comeback. We went 16-1 just to lose to the Titans in the wild card round, 17-14. Okay, thank you, EA. Matter of fact, that pisses me off. I'm doing another season. I usually never do this. I hate doing 5 seasons. It's just not a me thing. I'm going to move into the offseason. We're doing it one more time. And the Titans blow out the Panthers in the Super Bowl, so I guess they really did deserve that. Azeez Al-Shire wins the Super Bowl MVP. Bryce Young on the Vikings, again, I hate that, wins the league MVP. Coach of the Year is We Suck on the Texans. Will Anderson Jr. wins the Defensive Player of the Year. No shit. Broke records. But let's see if there's any offensive or defensive upgrades. We have so much money to spend, by the way. Gordon gets Superstar Dev. Schultz gets Superstar Dev as well. The team is so stacked. It just needed another year, I think. Isaiah Simmons gets Superstar Dev. Tariq Woolen gets Superstar X Factor. The team is so stacked. I don't even think we need to participate in free agency, but let's get into the re-signings. In the AFC South, Trey Turner retires on the Indianapolis Colts, dude. But let's see what we got for the players ready to negotiate because we didn't participate in the midseason mark. Will Anderson should have a 5th-year option, but we have so much money, I might as well just pay everyone. And I'm just going to pay everyone handsomely just because I need them to stay for another season because I'm giving this one more try. Dalton Schultz, sure, take with all the money you want. Jaxon Smith-Njigba, sure, take the money. Don't care. And then what do we got? Keely Ringo, honestly, not bad. Take the money. I enjoyed playing for you. What do you mean? Come on now. My punter, sure, take player friendly. I don't want to re-sign a kicker. Levi McCain, okay, sure, sign. I'm just passing out contracts more than your mom gets passed. Keely Ringo, sure, I'll tag him because I have the money and I'm not participating in free agency because I've already said it before and I'll say it again. Our team is good enough to win. It's just, it was the development factor that was the problem. Matter of fact, I'm so confident I'm going to skip out on the draft and just go straight to the next season. I don't even care. Now, this is the team going into the 5th and final season. Superstar quarterback, a great team around us, 89 overall team. This is definitely a Super Bowl winning team. Looks like the CPU picked up this guy named Collins. Beverly, doesn't really seem like they utilized their first round pick well. But anyways, let's move in to the playoffs. And we actually did it. Here we are in the playoffs, so with a wild card spot, 10-7, beating out the Colts, taking second division. Do the Colts weasel in? Yes, they do. They get 7 seed as we get 6 seed. Here to face the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are 11-6. At their home stadium. But what do we got here for these stats and awards? We're going to have Gordon doing another good season, but not as good as the last. 15th best offense, 2nd best defense, 4,500 yards, 34 touchdowns, too many receptions, almost 100 pass rating. Damian Pierce, 17 touchdowns, 4.6 average. JSN, 1,300 yards, 11 touchdowns. Dalton Schultz, 103 receptions, 1,000 yards. Looking at it defensively, Isaiah Simmons, 133 tackles for a loss, 23 for Will Anderson, sacks 26 for Will Anderson, Deontay Spence with 12, DeForest Buckner with 11.5, interceptions 4 for Isaiah Simmons, safeties on the team is 1 for Nabok Dean, defensive touchdowns is 1 for Anton Winfield Jr. So, let's see what we got here against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I never play the wild card. Please, can we get our first playoff win of this rebuild in year 5? Yes! Here to face the 9-8 Las Vegas Raiders, even though we have the better record, but beat the Steelers 25-20. Let's move into it. Here we are against the Las Vegas Raiders at their home stadium. They are 9-8. We are 10-7. 7-0 start for us. 7-7 now. It seems like our offense never seems to hold up in these simulations. 14-14, 21-14. Never mind, I guess. And it is 28-17 now. Okay, 28-20, 35-20. I think, yeah, that's going to be it. That's going to be game. We're going to the conference championship in year 5. That's what I'm talking about. Glad I played another season. Let's move into the conference championship. And here we are against our division rivals, the 13-4 Jacksonville Jaguars, probably with X Factor Lawrence. And no, it's only Superstar Lawrence, but that's fine. Let's move into it. Here we are in Jacksonville, Florida. 7-0 start for us. Okay, we almost had a 14-0 start, but I guess we threw a pick in the red zone. 14-7 now in the second quarter. And it is going to be 14-14 at halftime. Unfortunate that we couldn't hold that. 21-14. 24-14, 31-14, 31-21, chaos here in the fourth quarter, 31-24. Everyone wants to go to the Super Bowl, but we are going to go on top. It took us 5 years, but we finally have a successful rebuild. We're going to the Super Bowl 34-24 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. By the way, Trevor Lawrence had a baller game. And here we are in the Super Bowl, here to face the 14-3 Seattle Seahawks. Who is their quarterback is my question. No way is it still Geno Smith. It is Hudson Weeks, okay, out of Ball State. Guess he is a baller, but anyways, let's see the roster upgrades if we do have any. Offensively, we have none. Okay, wait, actually, did Jaxon Smith? Yeah, Jaxon Smith-Njigba got one. Superstar there, that's nice to see. Defensively, Isaiah Simmons gets X Factor, and we don't see anything else. That's fine with me, though. Team is stacked, especially the defense. Let's move in to the Super Bowl. Here we are in the Super Bowl in Tampa Bay, Seattle versus Houston. Wow, Seattle had to go from Washington, Seattle to Tampa Bay, Florida. That is quite the distance they had to travel. But anyways, almost halftime here as it is at 10-7 at halftime. Now 10-14. Defense, okay, held them to 3. Our offense needs to wake up in the red zone, please. It's 21-21 in overtime. Keep punting. Is that going to be it? I think we just lost. 23-21. It was. Did we get safetied? We got safetied in the Super Bowl, and that's how we lost. That is how this rebuild ends, is we get safetied in the Super Bowl in overtime. Okay. That is ridiculous that just happened, but anyways, guys, it is a successful rebuild. I hope you guys all enjoyed, especially since I did a 5th year. I usually never do a 5th year, but I felt really disappointed with the content I was giving you guys if I only did 4 years, but hey, if you could just make it to the Super Bowl, I think it is a successful rebuild. And Brian Brzee wins the Super Bowl MVP with the Seattle Seahawks. I can see him going there in real life. Dak Prescott wins the league MVP. There are no awards here for the Houston Texans. But anyways, guys, apart from that, let me know which team you'd like me to rebuild next. And thank you guys all for your suggestions and your comments.